Welcome to Behind the Scenes, the podcast that takes you beyond the field and into the minds of those shaping the game of baseball. I'm your host, Harrison Cordell Fant, and with me today is a very special guest, 2025 preseason player of the year, number one college prospect in the 2025 MLB draft, Texas A&M Aggie Jace LaViolette. Thanks for joining me, Jace.
Yeah, of course, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I know you guys ramping up the season right now and about to kick things off. I know you're excited for that, but how you been, man? How's offseason been?
It's been good. Just kind of doing what I've been doing the past 2 years, right? Just getting ready to play, getting stronger, trying to get a little bit faster, and just refining my body for what's to come.
Yeah, and obviously a very important season for you and one that I know you're looking forward to as well. But let's back things up, start from the beginning. Kind of, you're born in Pensacola, Florida, but you grew up in Katy, Texas.
Yeah.
When did you end up moving there?
Yeah, I ended up moving there when I was right around elementary school. So, really and truly, kind of that's where I remember all my life kind of being, and made all my friends over there, and it was a really good place to grow up. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, and obviously I feel like growing up in Texas versus Florida, completely different
Oh
kind of
yeah.
atmosphere and different experience for sure. So you went to Oberle Tompkins High School. What was that kind of experience like? And like, at what point did you realize that you were, really good at baseball?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Started playing high school baseball freshman year and kind of found my ropes then. And sadly, I think it was my sophomore year. We were literally in the middle of a game, got pulled off the field because of COVID, and then never didn't play again that year. And then I believe junior year played and senior year played, but it was a lot of fun. That's where I made some of my best friends. That's where I kind of fell more in love with the game of baseball, and I guess you kind of get your first taste of playing in front of people, right? And so that was really fun, and so I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And so at what point was it kind of like sophomore, junior year in which you started, drawing a lot of interest from Division One schools and, teams coming out to look at you and coaches start, hey, like this is a kid of interest we want to recruit.
Yeah, I really don't really remember. I couldn't really tell you whenever all that started happening. I think I was still kind of living how I do now, like day to day. Didn't really put too much emphasis on trying to be, I guess, necessarily recruited. I was more just focused on having fun because I think the more emphasis you put on trying to be recruited, trying to do good, trying to do this and that, the harder the game gets, the worse you do, instead of just focusing on honestly winning. And I think the more you can focus on your team, right, the better you'll do. And so I think I was trying to do that back then too, but honestly, I could be totally wrong. So.
I wouldn't say totally wrong because it seemed to work out pretty well for you. Obviously focusing on the game and your craft and getting better is kind of, focusing on the details of it, letting everything else take care of it itself, especially in a
Yeah.
game like baseball. So during your recruiting process, what were your top three schools and like, where all did you kind of visit?
Yeah. I didn't visit really any other school other than LSU, and I committed there when I was like 14. And so that was where I was going to go. That's where I thought I was going to end up at, and luckily I ended up at Texas A&M. I decommitted from LSU my junior or senior year of high school, and then committed here, and I it, I'm so happy. It's been the best three years of my life. It's like home to me. I believe it's the best university in the nation. It's really unbelievable. The people here. I can't speak enough about it.
Yeah, and so you said you committed to LSU. You committed under Nolan Cain when he was there, right?
Mhm.
And he ended up taking the job at Texas A&M following him, or was it also you went and just talked to their coaches at A&M and kind of
Yeah.
experienced there and loved it and fell in love with it?
Well, obviously, me and Nolan had really tight relationship, and so obviously I kind of want to stick around him, but at the same time, I got to meet Coach Mike and um, Coach Schlossnagle and really the whole staff there, and I was like, wow, this is different. Like these guys know they already knew exactly what they wanted to do. They had a thing that they wanted to build around, and they I think they did just that. So it was pretty cool to watch it all unfold there, and it was pretty special to be a part of.
Yeah, Texas A&M is a very special, unique university with unique culture. When did you kind of fully understand that, and like when was it and why?
Yeah, I'm not joking. Like literally, probably my first week on campus, I was like, yeah, this place is different. Like this is. It felt like a. I always say this. It felt like I was a part of a family of 70,000 people, which is hard to do, but genuinely, like, you just walk around, everybody wants to like, hey, how are you doing? How's your day going? Like, you don't even know them, and it's just like everybody wants to be with each other. Like it's not like, oh, I don't know you, so I'm not going to talk to you. No, it's like, hey, like, how are you doing? Like, you doing well? All right, cool. Now you can just move on with your day. But like everybody kind of wants to stop and talk, and so it's pretty cool.
Have you ever been to College Station before? Stepping on campus?
I had not once, which is crazy because it's. I mean,
Yeah,
I've driven through it to go play baseball. Actually, I mean, I lie. I had been once, and I played in Bluebell, but that was for summer ball, and so I didn't really get. I literally went and played baseball game and went right home. So
that's cool. But that experience, playing in an SEC ballpark like that, like a big one, like Bluebell Park too,
yeah,
in high school was just an incredible experience and something probably kind of stuck with you, right?
yeah, 100%. I mean, I got to see how different it was, and I remember playing center at the time, and somebody hit a ball over my head, and I felt like I was running for days, and I was like, dude, this is unbelievable. So
Yeah, especially the bigger ballpark and just. I mean, you're not used playing in high school. You're not used to just seeing a giant just
no,
wall of stands.
no,
Yeah, I mean, and that's just got to be an incredible experience and something you probably took into when you stepped on campus. Like I've played here before. Having that kind of confidence, like this isn't just brand new to me. I've seen it before.
yeah, it definitely. It was. I mean, I enjoyed playing there. So
Yeah. And so through your career, kind of leading up to this point, like was there like a pivotal point in your career, something you remember or an experience that kind of has shaped your mindset or the way you play?
yeah, freshman year of college, whenever I was hitting like a buck 82, and I was like, dude, do I even belong here? Like, is this even like what am I doing? And I just had to learn how to deal with a lot of failure. Honestly, we hadn't even gotten to SEC play, and I was batting a buck 82, and I was like, oh, from what I've heard, this can only get worse. And so it really took time. It takes time to grow. It takes time to understand that you're going to fail a lot within this game, and sometimes you're going to put good swings on the ball and it's not going to go your way. Sometimes you're going to put really bad swings on the ball and it's going to go your way. So this game has a funny way of trying to play mind tricks, but at the end of the day, you got to realize like, hey man, like it's hard. Like this
Yeah.
game, it's hard and it can suck at some. Like it sucks sometimes, right? But like that's life. Life is hard and it sucks sometimes. But as long as you have a good mental aspect on it, it's all perspective. I
Yeah.
think life is all perspective, and that was one thing that I learned in college, and one thing that shaped kind of how my mind works now is perspective.
Yeah. In baseball, people say that, have played the game or, work in baseball, talk about how it's really a game of life. You
Yeah,
know, it's the game of failure. You fail 7 out of 10 times in professional baseball, and you're a Hall of Famer almost.
right.
And it's just like learning that is really applicable to life and just how you kind of approach the game of baseball, but also approach life. Just overcoming adversity consistently.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And so with that, obviously, the struggles of doing that. Like, did you ever have like a role model or someone you kind of mentor, like had a mentor, like a hitting coach growing up that you kind of went back to, relied on, or talked through things with at all?
I'd say my freshman year, I relied heavily on some of those guys that were already there that have been through it and that had done exactly what I was doing, and but also I rely on my coaches a lot. I think that there's value in trying to learn new things from everyone. I don't think that you should only like be like, hey, like I'm only going to trust this guy, this guy, this guy. Like, I think that there's a value in understanding what people have to say. And if you don't like it, fine. Like, that's cool. But at least you heard them out, right? Like, I think there's something special about I try and learn things from people on this new team every single day. And all these coaches, like, I'm always asking questions because at the end of the day, like, it's not just baseball. You said it best. It's life. Like, and you don't always have to ask people questions about baseball whenever you're playing, right? Like, and that's what I think the beauty about it is. So,
Yeah, and it seems like baseball, and I think a lot of people that are successful at baseball are like a sponge. They absorb everything.
yeah.
They kind of think through it and apply what works for them,
Right.
or what they think is going to be best for them. And pairing a lot of pieces from different hitting coaches, different pitching coaches throughout the years, different coaches, mentors, different players that help out. Because I mean,
Yeah.
everyone knows. I mean, players are helping each other out. Like, hey, like you're looking a little late on this. You're dragging this. Like, just hey, like this is something. It's like another set of eyes that you trust and rely on, and that is going through the same thing as you can rely on that.
100%. Yeah. Because
And
at the end of the day, everybody's going through the same thing. So nobody's really trying to hurt you. They're only trying to get you better. So,
yeah, yeah. And with that, did you ever have any like who was your favorite player growing up, and anyone you kind of modeled your game after, your swing after?
Yeah, growing up, I remember I used to just binge watch David Ortiz highlights. I couldn't get enough of it. Just watching that dude hit homers was unbelievable.
Yeah. So did you start kind of modeling your swing after that a little bit, trying to elevate and celebrate?
That's more of, yeah, celebrate, celebrate. I don't think our swings are anywhere near identical, but you know what? That's fine. I still got some time.
I don't think the speed's anywhere near identical either, but
Nah, you know what? He might have me a little bit.
really, what probably in his early career days, maybe not towards the end,
Yeah,
DHing,
I
but
mean, I hope not.
yeah. Yeah, but I mean, like the versatility you have of just being able to, be an athlete on the field, I think is super important in the game of baseball. And, being able to not only play one outfield position, but two, because they are different, but also as needed, like you see Mookie Betts playing anywhere in the infield, outfield, like
Right.
those kind of guys just only adds to the value that you bring to a team and to a program.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying, I agree.
Yeah, and so freshman year, you talk about how you struggled early on. You ended up batting 286 with
Mhm.
over 1,000 OPS and 280 plate appearances with 21 home runs, 63 RBIs, 18 stolen bases as a freshman, which I think is undervalued, especially drawing 48 walks as a freshman. You set the A&M single season freshman home run record that had stood since 1987. I mean, just what was the change from when you were struggling early in the season to be able to end the season like that? And what is it? How did you do that?
Yeah, there's obviously swing mechanical changes that had to happen, but also mental changes. Learning how to deal with failure. I can't say what I used to say, and I can't say what I say now, but just having something to kind of go back on to get your mind off of how much you think you're doing, like how bad you think you're doing. Because in reality, you look at it, you're not doing bad. I kind of like to think of baseball almost like stocks, right? It's going to go up and down, but hopefully at the end you end on a high note, right? And
Yeah,
that's kind of how I like to think of it. So I know that I'm going to have down times, and I know I'm going to have really high times. You
yeah,
just try and be even kill and not get too high, not get too low, and just kind of ride the wave with it. So
yeah, absolutely. And what does that mean to kind of have such an incredible feat like that and set an A&M program record as a freshman? Like, what does that? What does that mean to you now?
not much anymore because Gavin broke it last year. So honestly, it doesn't really matter.
At least it's a friend of yours that broke it, though.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, it was cool, but I think it was even cooler to watch that little young kid come in and do it literally the year after. So I had a lot of fun watching him hit in front of me, and it was pretty cool to watch some of those balls fly out of the park. So I give a lot of credit to him. I don't even really, it's not mine anymore. So why talk about it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But then after that, you end up going and playing the Cape in Falmouth, and you bat 381. I mean, talk to me about that experience, like getting the opportunity to play in the Cape, but then be successful and play well. What is that? What is that experience like, and how much did that mean to you in the growth of your game?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had a short stint while I was there, and then I went out to USA. But I enjoyed it. It was a good time. It was fun to meet. I mean, that's what I like most about baseball, and especially at this level, you just get to meet so many new people. You get to meet so many new friends, and it's just stay in touch with all those guys. So it was pretty cool for that side of the game.
Yeah, and getting to play against that level of talent because that's best of the best. I mean, we talk about how the SEC is the best conference in college baseball, but Cape, you're playing the best of every single team in the country. And just that
Right.
experience. I mean, you're sitting there, a lot of scouts, and watching every game. But just what was your biggest kind of takeaway from the Cape and like favorite thing you did, like experience wise, up there?
Favorite thing on the field or off?
Both.
I'd say off the field was whenever our host family took us out to a Brazilian steakhouse, and we had a little competition of who could stay there the longest. So that was a lot of fun. And then on the field, I mean, I just resort back to meeting some of the new people that I got to meet. One person that I still talk to a lot is Charlie Condon. We were on the same team. I enjoy Chuck a lot. He's unbelievable. I enjoy to just hang around him. We think the same, so it was a lot of fun to get to know him and kind of bond with him over the summer.
Yeah, especially before the season that he had. I mean, it's probably something you probably could have seen coming, right?
Yeah, I mean that kid's unbelievable. It's pretty impressive what that kid did. And I don't think it could have happened to a better person. I mean he's a stand up guy, one of a kind dude, and I mean I hate to say it. I don't hate to say it. Every time I get on my phone, I see a homer, and I'm like, "Go Chuck, come on, baby, keep going." And it was so fun to watch, and I was so happy for him. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's cool to have, friends like that, but also kind of some friendly competition too, because those are guys that help motivate you as well. And, like this is what I want to be doing. I want to be playing and competing and, around the best, because that's only going to improve your game. And I mean, I
Yeah,
remember talking to him after one of the gold spikes and just super stand up guy, humble guy. And
very.
like I said, it's cool that I happen to really, humble guy like that.
I agree. It couldn't have happened to a better person.
Yeah. And then sophomore year, what were kind of the mindsets and expectations going into it after just an incredibly strong freshman year? Like, what was that like for you?
I genuinely, I don't know, man. It's kind of the same thing that I'm trying to do this year is live day by day. Don't think about anything other than what you're doing today. Like I'm not worried about what's coming up next weekend. I'm not worried about what's coming up in a month. I'm not worried about 2 months. I'm not worried about 7 months. I truly do try to live day by day and worry about today. Because
Yeah.
one thing that I think is good for not only baseball but life is like, why am I going to worry about something tomorrow when I haven't even finished doing what I'm doing today? Right? Like
Yeah.
we had an analogy last year. It was win. What's important now?
That's
And
good.
like the most important thing right now is me on this podcast interview. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things that like, and that's just kind of how I try and live life. So
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. And yeah, that's a great mentality, the whole WIN acronym, and something that seemed like y'all really, owned and really took a lot of charge in throughout the season last year. I mean, I know you're not super, keen on the whole stats, but obviously, it feels like you followed it up with even better year, batting 305, 1100 OPS, almost 1200 OPS, 29 home runs, 78 RBIs, 68 walks you drew last year. I mean, now you're currently 50 home runs into your career, and you're seven shy of passing Dalen Holt for the most home runs in Texas A&M history. I know you're not super big on, accolades like that, but it's got to mean something to be able to, be successful like that and represent with, on the field, but a program like A&M through stats as well.
yeah, um, it's cool. But I think while I'm still in it, there's no point in trying to reconcile or think about it, right? Like I think that comes in 15, 20 years down the line. I can look back on it and be like, all right, now I can actually take this in. But in the moment, I think that there's something beautiful about kind of just being like putting your head down, going to work, and just understanding that it's not over yet. Like at the end of the day, what Matt, like who cares, right? Like I haven't done anything yet at the end of
Yeah.
the day. So I try and I try and stay true to that and just always remember like what have I done so far? Nothing. So
Yeah, I see why you and Charlie Connor are good friends, both humble guys, and just
yeah,
willing to put your head down and grind. And I mean, there's a saying, obviously, yesterday's hits and runs don't win today's game.
no,
It's just like let stats let the work speak for itself, and that's going
right,
to be your stats. But those stats lead to wins; they help contribute to wins, and with wins, obviously, you got to step up to the plate. Talk to me about your walk up songs at A&M and
yeah,
how does social media kind of help with that?
yeah. So I had "Here Comes the Money," the WWE walk
Big fan.
that song, yeah, and then I had oh my goodness, "Crazy" by Boosie. For a little bit, for a little stint there, and then this year I think I'm going to start it off with some "My Girl." See if anybody likes to, I don't know, maybe sing along here and there, see what we can get. And if people don't dig it, you know where I'm going right back to. So,
Yeah. All right. All right. Something different for sure. Are you a outside of people don't dig it? Are you a if I'm playing well, I'm keeping it? Or like, is there a point with
you know,
superstition?
like, so I tried to stay away from superstitions, but last year I did crazy for a stint and I wasn't hitting good. And so, of course, I think it's the song. And I go back to Here Comes the Money. I start hitting well again. And so I just kind of rolled with that. But I try and stay away from superstitions because I think it's just a mental block. Really and truly, I think that's just me being a mental midget and not being able to get past that. So I do try and stay away from superstitions. Freshman year though, I was terrible with it. I would wear the same shirt. I'd wear like it had to be this, and if it didn't happen, I was like, dude, like what am I gonna do? And that's where like the mental blocks started coming in, and I was like, all right, I'm done with this. Like this is just horrible for me. So
Yeah, and like you said, it just kind of creates worry, and worry's not going to add a day to your life.
yeah,
It's
100%.
not going to solve today's problems or get you through it. But I mean, Was the ripped socks a superstition though, or is that just it kind of just happened and just what was the deal with that?
Yeah, the I don't even. What are you talking? Ripped socks? Where are we going with this? Did I used to wear ripped socks a lot?
That's what the word is. You had some ripped socks a couple games, and you're just like, oh, like no, it's
Oh,
just
dude. Oh no. I will say this. I always do wear ripped socks, but it's not even like a superstition thing. It's more me just being super lazy and not walking 10 feet to the thing and grabbing more socks. But that's fine.
we got to make sure you get a couple extra pairs of socks. I know that you guys are going to go through that, and I mean, you probably how many pairs of cleats do you probably go through the season two?
Honestly, not like we have our certain cleats that you wear, right?
Yeah.
Like I think we have like three different pairs of cleats that like are in a rotation, and I honestly maybe one of each, maybe two, and that's like a maybe.
Yeah.
The only time I do is whenever the laces break, and then I'm like, all right, now this is just like kind of made me a little angry. So then I just throw the whole cleat away, even though it's still fine. So,
So every year, obviously teams get new gear every year. Are you a new glove guy every year? Or are you staying with the same glove? What's the plan this year?
I actually have my new gloves sitting over there, but it's my other gloves kind of getting to the point where it's too flimsy. So I think I'm about to break that one in. I was just gonna keep it and kind of throw it in a little shrine, but
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna do that anymore. It's getting a little bit too flimsy. My other one, so
You're not gonna retire it, hang it up on the wall.
yeah, I'll do something.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's one of the coolest things of baseball is like kind of having that token of memorabilia and think about every time you look at it, all the memories and just games you remember just staring at
100.
your glove and grabbing it. I
Yeah,
mean, that's one of the coolest things. I remember. I mean, I still have all my gloves,
yeah.
but even all
It
the ones from Little League, which isn't that many because I went through and wore them down until I absolutely needed a new glove. But
yeah,
it's like a little token of appreciation. Guys, keep bats too, whatever hats.
yeah. 100%. I agree.
So, what glove are you rocking this year?
Same. Literally, I was sick whenever they did the glove day, and so it's literally identical glove that I had last year, which is
Uh,
fine. I can't complain. I still got a glove, so I'm pretty blessed in that aspect. So I can't really complain.
Yeah, I bet that's. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. It worked last year, worked this year.
Yeah,
And speaking of this year, tell me about Coach Michael Early and why he's the guy.
yeah.
What do
I
you love
think
about him?
it's pretty simple. I'll just make this short and sweet. I kind of look at people who, I kind of look at how they treat their kids first, and how he is as a father. I mean, I think that's a direct like way to look at how he'll treat somebody, right? And so he's literally one of the best fathers I've ever seen. He tries to spend as much time with them as possible, and he's such a family guy, and he's treats us kind of like his own kids too. It's really cool to watch, and he's one of the best coaches I've ever been around. He's one of the best people I've ever been around. It's pretty easy to want to get up and play for that guy.
Yeah, it seems like obviously the whole locker room and team is just so locked in, rallied around him. What is kind of the mindset this year, kind of proving what this year's club is for themselves, what the Aggies are this year for 2025?
Go have fun, play loose, go win. It, I, I, I couldn't tell you.
Are
We
you guys
don't
rocking the WIN acronym this year? Or is there a new one?
we don't have a little we don't have anything just yet like good or anything like that. I mean I still say good. That's just kind of engraved in my mind now. But no, it's more just go play, go have fun. It's supposed to be fun. It's not. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know how to put it into words. It's just like we all have one goal in mind. We know what the goal is. We sure like if you want to look at whatever's being said about our team, like that's all cool and everything, but at the end of the day, we haven't played a game yet, so it doesn't matter in my eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think that not necessarily that you don't have to block that out. You don't have to not look at it. I think it's good to look at, but at the same time, you have to realize like, hey, now we have to go play 70 something games and actually turn that into a reality and not just let it be at the beginning, right? Because I think the only one that matters is the one at the very end.
yeah,
So
absolutely. I mean, there's a quote I can't remember. I think it's from was it Moneyball? Yeah, it's Moneyball. He talks at the end. He said, "No one remembers how you do except for the last game of the season."
100%.
And obviously you got that taste in your mouth, and you guys got like the best club in the nation going into the season, and a lot to prove, and a lot that you guys want to do and are able to accomplish. I mean, going into this year, a lot of travel's involved with that. What is traveling for baseball like in the SEC?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I find it joy in kind of getting to go to new towns, getting to see what it's like over there, and just getting to travel. I enjoy traveling, so I think we all do. So I think it's a lot of fun for us, and we just get to honestly go be college kids, go have fun, like go see a new town, go to dinner with the team, and then wake up, go get to play the game that we love, and then go have dinner again. You know what I mean? Like it really is enjoyable. So we definitely love going on road trips, and I don't know, you just can't put too much on the game of baseball. It's not life or death. It's all perspective. Like no matter win or lose, yeah, competitively, like it sucks. You have to be mad, but at the end of the day, you've got to realize like, hey, like I'm blessed enough to get to play this game every single day. I'm blessed enough to wake up first of all, and there's kids that would kill to be in my position, right? So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's all perspective. You got to at least play the game, no
Yeah.
matter the result. So
And the game of baseball teaches you, like I said, those life lessons that, so many of us that have played it take into life with us and, apply. And
yeah,
because it's so applicable in business and personal, like whatever it is in life you're doing, like the game of baseball teaches you those things, or, maybe it's in the moment you realize them, or maybe you look back and it's like, like this is kind of how I thought through things, or this is how I should approach things because, you fail 7 out of 10 times, you're still incredibly good at baseball.
yeah.
But with that on the road, the experience is awesome. Experiences getting to travel around to obviously different SEC towns and food as well. I bet you all get to try taste a lot of good food when you're out for dinners before games. Building that culture. Where is the best road SEC series you've been to? That A, ballpark that you played at, and B, food town.
Food town, I'd go. I really enjoyed actually Alabama. They had some really good restaurant on the strip. Um, like it was like literally it was like two strips. Like there was like food on one side, food on the other, and they had this really neat restaurant that was really good. Um, but favorite ballpark, I mean it's I've got to go Duty Noble Field. I
Yeah,
think that that's a beautiful ballpark. I think the atmosphere there is unbelievable. So I really enjoy that, but nothing compares to playing a night game out in Olsen Field. So
I can't relate to that. Haven't done it. Haven't been there yet. We're hoping to get there this spring. That's the
yeah,
plan. That's the goal. And I have been to Duty Noble. The dude absolutely love it. It's my favorite SEC ballpark that I've been to. I think
yeah.
about 8 of them so far. When you're in the outfield there, everyone's hanging on the wall. There's all those grills and everything. Are you smelling all the food they're cooking, or is that distracting?
Oh, it was unbelievable. I mean, they were even asked. They were like, "Hey, do you want a hot dog? Do you want some brisket?" And I was like, "This is awesome! Like y'all are amazing! Like they were just genuine, like good fans, good people. It was pretty cool to see.
Yeah. Did you get to try any of it?
I mean, I might have had a hot dog or two, but that's fine.
No complaints there. Not no complaints there. But
No.
so, are you a big foodie though?
Oh my goodness. Whew. I'm a big foodie. I love food. I love to try new food. I love to go. That's why I like going new places so much. Just
Yeah.
because like I make it a mission to try something new. That first night that we're there, that we can actually like go to a restaurant or something that we have time. I make it like a thing of mine. Like I want to go somewhere I've never been. Like I want to go eat somewhere that I can't get back home. So
Yeah, I love that. No, I'm exactly the same way. It's just like because food and culture just has kind of the storytelling aspect to it, and love the taste of trying different new foods and whatnot. I think we need to maybe get you a Yelp sponsorship or
yeah, dude, I
partnership.
agree. I could put some mean reviews out.
Especially as much as you're going to travel this season for
Oh,
baseball. I mean,
I could put out some good reviews.
yeah, I mean, did you get to try out the Drover in Omaha last year?
The what?
The Drover,
I don't think so.
Jace.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it is the place that everyone talks about going in Omaha. It's like
Is it like a steakhouse
it's
or
a
something?
steakhouse, yeah, and they have
Maybe
like a
we
whiskey
did.
marinated steak.
Maybe we went because I know we went to one steakhouse while we were there, but I don't recall the name.
Yeah, well, I remember I was sitting there when we got to Omaha, and Ben McDonald just like talking to him, asked some restaurant recommendations. He goes, "You got to go to Drover." He goes, "It's I go there the first night and I go there as much as I can. It is the best restaurant there." So,
Really?
yeah, it was really good. It was a lot smaller than I thought, but I mean, it was the place that everyone talked about all the time. Like
Yeah.
everyone that came in town for it. But no, big foodie. What is the best? What's your go-to spot in College Station for food?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna go, I have like, if I'm gonna go Mexican, it's gonna be like, if I want a faster Mexican, it'll be like Torchy's, right? But if I want somewhere I'm gonna go sit down, it'll be like a Gringo's, Lupe, something like that. But if I want like barbecue, I'm gonna go to Cooper's. I mean, I have my, if I want like a variety of food, here's BJ's. I'll go like I have my stuff kind of mapped out,
Yeah,
literally.
yeah. Whatever I'm in the mood for, this is where I'm going.
Yeah, no, I just know. Like if I want a steak, the Republic or Porter's, like it's
Okay.
I kind of, or honestly, I like to grill them at my house myself. To be
There you
honest,
go.
so.
Yeah, yeah. I'm taking a bunch of mental notes for when I'm in College Station. We'll have to check
Oh,
out
dude,
these.
just hit me up. I'll send you it all.
Absolutely. I'm gonna hold you to that. But you said you like cook a lot at home. What's your favorite thing to cook? And are you like a
Oh,
experimental cook?
a steak by far on a charcoal grill,
Can't beat it.
or put it over put a grill over a grate over the wood fire. Ooh, that's
Okay.
also unbelievable.
Keep it as natural as possible. Okay.
Oh, it's so good.
So you are you hosting all the guys in the team over and like we're just growing out one night, just boys not in?
We've done some burgers, some hot dogs. Like this Sunday, we'll probably do something for Super Bowl after our scrimmage. So I think I mean that's one of the biggest things for us is like, I think good teams enjoy hanging out outside of the field. Like I think good teams actually enjoy being with each other, not doing baseball. So we try and make that a priority for us these past few years.
Yeah, and that's what really builds, team culture and just program culture and tradition, I feel like too. And
Yeah.
you do that on the road, on the planes, trying different places, dinner, getting to walk around towns a little bit, doing it, before during the season and whatnot. Like, do y'all have something you do before the season that's like a team bonding thing? Like I know some teams do paintball, some do, other things. What do y'all do at all?
It's more just kind of get together. Like we didn't last year. We didn't have anything that was like a necessarily like a team bonding type thing. I think that the more that you can get together, the more team bonding you get, right? So we just try and get together as much as possible and enjoy being with each other, not just like get together and sit there and do nothing. No, like we can have fun. We can go play basketball outside. We can grill. We can do whatever, you know. So
Yeah. And so, you talk about a lot about not looking at stats, kind of trusting the grind and, not worrying too much. How important is your faith to you, especially playing baseball where it's a game of failure?
yeah, I think that there's such a beautiful thing about knowing that God let me wake up today. Like that's a blessing in itself, right? Like I woke up today. Now I get to go play the best thing that's ever happened to me. And he's allowing me to do that. He's giving me blessings to go play with my brothers. He's giving me blessings to let them wake up and giving me blessings that I can't even fathom to think about. So that's like why. Like what could I be mad about? Genuinely. That I go 0 for 4? Oh, big deal. All right, cool. Who cares? It probably won't matter tomorrow. And in 20 years, nobody's going to remember. 5 years, nobody's going to remember. So who cares? God
Yeah.
let me wake up today. God let me do these things. He let me be with these people. He's letting me live out my dream. I don't know what more I could ask for. So
Yeah, that's awesome. And is there a Bible verse that you kind of live by or, play the game by?
not necessarily. I try and keep baseball and religion. I try and keep them, even though I don't know how to explain. Like I try and keep them together, but apart. If that makes sense,
Hmm.
in a way. Like I don't know. I don't try and live or play the game by any certain Bible verses, or you know what I mean. If that makes any sense. Like I just try
Yeah.
and let the game be the game, and then outside of that, now I live my life. You know what I mean? Like I try and keep life and baseball kind of separate.
Yeah. And keep a perspective of both.
Right.
Yeah. So if you didn't play baseball, what sport would you play? And like, what's your best shot at going pro in a different sport?
I want to say football. I really do. I do, but I've never played it, so I can't really say that.
You
So
never
I
played football growing up at all?
no, my mom would let me, and so I'm gonna say basketball, even though I know that there's absolutely no way. You know what? Maybe I don't know volleyball. I could see myself being a pretty good volleyball player,
Beach
but
volleyball
I
is
don't
so
know.
underrated.
Dude, I think it's so fun, and I really do think that watching it in person is unbelievable. I think it's so fun to watch.
Yeah. Is so I assume you guys aren't allowed to play basketball or anything, near and around during the season.
Nope.
So if you played okay, but give me a position for both. Basketball, what position would you be? Are you like a center, or in like football? Would you? I feel like football, you'd be a slot receiver with the hands and the size
Dude,
and
football.
speed.
I mean, you let me sling the ball a little bit. I'll throw out
In the
some.
rock.
Yeah, you let. I mean, you put me on, like, put me wherever you need me. I'm just everywhere. Honestly, besides on the line, I'll get absolutely killed. But that's fine. Um,
Can you
and
dunk?
basketball. I mean, I want to say, weirdly enough, I could be a shooting guard. I mean, I can shoot it a little bit.
Can you dunk it though?
Oh, of course.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I feel like
I
you got to
mean,
have that at
the
your
only reason I
side.
say of course, like, I don't want to sound like that guy, but like I'm 6'6". If I couldn't,
Yeah,
we might have a problem. You know?
yeah, you got to have that in the back pocket for sure.
Yeah.
It's 6'6", and the speed that you have. But okay, favorite tradition in Aggie land, and it could be any sport. Like what is it?
So I'd say, so sports traditions.
Sure, or just university as a whole.
Just you, I'd say some of my favorite sports traditions. Obviously, I've got to go to the ball five chant for baseball. Um, and I mean, I've got to go the war hymn for every sport whenever we do it. I think that's such a beautiful thing to watch. Honestly, especially at football games, just kind of watching 100 and something thousand people all sway back and forth together. It's pretty remarkable.
I can
It
only
really, it's unbelievable to see. And then some of my other favorite traditions just throughout the school, like muster, the bonfire, like just certain things like that that not many other schools really have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're
So
unique to A&M.
yeah, it really is. It is pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's what I think makes each university kind of special, and obviously makes Texas A&M special for you is those traditions, the obviously the environments at sporting events, getting to play at university, but also the friends in the community you make there. It kind
Yeah,
of shape that experience as a whole, right?
no, I agree.
Yeah. So, all right, hidden talents. Do you have any? And if so, what are they? Like, what is your hidden talent people don't know?
I'd say, do you know what rainbow loom is? Perhaps.
No, but I feel like I'm gonna. I don't know.
All right. I can do rainbow. So it's you can it's so you make these bracelets, but I can make them with my feet, or I used to be able to. I don't even really know why I'm talking about this.
I just pictured that, and then
This is just me begging to get, like, put on somewhere and just like just some meme. But you know what? That's fine. I'll take it. Um, but yeah, somehow I learned to do that. I haven't done it, and I couldn't tell you how long. But that was one of my things back in the day.
I was thinking you were gonna go like more of an instrument route or like juggling or something.
So I wish I could go that route. I really do. Um, I also would like to say that I could sing, but at the end of the day, I know I sound horrible. But it's all confidence. Confidence is key when singing.
You keep in the
Um,
shower, keep singing in the shower.
I'm more of like a karaoke guy.
Okay.
I enjoy going up on stage and just kind of letting it rip. And if people start booing, they start booing. That's fine.
What's the karaoke song? What's the go-to?
Me and obviously I'm always kind of up there with my trusted partner Hayden Schott. Um,
Chief Vibes Officer, good
yeah,
choice.
of course. We're always singing some form of country music or sad song, like some little slow sad song, kind of get the girls
This feels
in.
like an end of the night kind of
Yeah.
karaoke.
Oh, 100%. No, it is, which is fine. It's more fun that way. But I'd say we like a little revival by Zach Bryan. The Mates of Soul. Me and Shot, we enjoy to crush that song.
I bet that it gets the crowd going. Everyone enjoys it, no matter how it sounds.
They might not. We don't really know, honestly. We kind of just do it, and
Do it for yourself.
obviously we're kind of looking. We're just singing to ourselves, not to anybody else. And if they like it, they like it.
That's a good perspective to put for it. With that, any guilty pleasure artists or like sleeper artists that you jam out to in the car, like whatnot, pregame.
Pre Weirdly enough, like, we listen to Cody Johnson acoustic almost as loud as it can be in our locker room pregame, which is
I like that.
totally different than what I think a lot of other people do. Like it's slow, like
Hmm.
Evelyn Soldier, the acoustic version, and we are all belting it as loud as we can, and then we just go out there and I don't know, it kind of frees us up instead of listening to something that's kind of getting my heart rate up. It's kind of putting it down. So
Yeah, yeah. So who's getting the aux in the locker room?
that's I like to say that's my job.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's an important role.
it is.
I
It
had a
is.
feeling that was like a Hayden Shot kind of role.
No, I think it would be if we had the new cord, but we don't. So it's kind of my role, but it's a tough job. You kind of have to feel out the locker room, right? Like sometimes they don't want country, sometimes they do, sometimes they want throwbacks. So like you kind of just have to throw in everything there. But
Yeah,
I
mix it
feel
up.
like
You
I do,
try to
I
mix
feel
them
like
all.
I do a pretty good job.
Yeah. Well, so like headphones on the road. You're walking the stadium. Walking, getting ready. What are you jamming to? Headphones.
Yep, Cody Johnson acoustic version.
Still, you just ripping it.
Every time. Get
All
get
right.
my get my heart rate down. Just enjoy some good country music. There we go.
Y'all just ripping
Or
country music all practice too.
or no, we listen to everything during practice. But or if I'm walking in the stadium, or it's I'm playing some slow, weirdly enough, some slow sad song that just like it's slow, and it's like just like I can just breathe to it, and my heart rate goes down. And like I just can't really listen to rap before a game because then like my heart rate goes up, I get spiked, I get anxious, and I'm like, dude, I can't do this. Like I'm not trying to go run people over in football. You know what I mean? Like I'm not
Yeah.
trying to go, honestly, literally kill somebody every time the ball gets snapped. I'm trying to be precise and hit a baseball. So
Trying to stay within yourself.
I need my heart rate to be a little bit slower than what most football players do.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Especially want to keep all your emotions under control and just lock into what you're trying to do at the plate. Because
Yeah,
obviously, once you step in that box, it's just you and the pitcher, and
yeah,
it's just a battle. And he's got to pitch to you. The pressure is really on him more so. Even though it's a game of failure for the hitter, it feels like the pitcher's got to make a pitch, right?
yeah. I agree.
So with that, you said walking into a stadium. Are you doing any? Is there any plan for some nice fits going on the road this year?
Not that I know of.
Keeping it simple.
Yeah, we're not really like on the road. We always go to the field in our jersey already anyway. So um, I don't know. Maybe one time while we go on the road, we might just wear like a suit or something on the plane. But at the same time, I think that'd be pretty uncomfortable. So I don't know if I really want to do that. So
They say beauty hurts. You can't always be comfortable.
yeah, but I'd much rather be able to just sleep on the plane comfortably and just enjoy the ride and not sweat in my suit. So I don't
That's a good,
know. We'll see. We'll see where we're at.
that's a good point. So kind of future outlook of college baseball. Like NIL is obviously a huge deal in collegiate athletics. It's kind of been the past couple years, but it's really taken you know college athletics by storm. How do you kind of navigate that? Being in the middle of that, how has that kind of been for you? Is that something you've tried to not focus on too much, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely it's a blessing in its own, but at the same time, I think we're in the pinnacle of college baseball right now. I think we're in the pinnacle of college sports. Um, I don't see that going away for, I don't know. I couldn't tell you how long, but I do think that this is the golden age. I think that more people are coming to college than necessarily going pro than I think ever before. Um, and so you're getting to see a lot of these talents that I don't know if you would have prior years. You know what I mean? So I think it's helping out the kid, and I think it's helping out the game, um, and I think it's helping out college baseball and college sports in general because you're getting to see these. Well, I guess really college baseball is the only one now that it's kind of more helping out just because every other sport had to go to college. Um, but I do think it's drawing some talent to some of these schools that necessarily they might not have gone to. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and especially with the transfer portal too. It feels
Yeah,
like
so I think it's actually I think it's beautiful, but I also think it's a monster. So
yeah,
just have to navigate it.
it's something I think I know we need more regulation on and more standard and consistency.
Right.
Um, but obviously, with that said, transfer portal, you obviously decided to stay this year. Texas A&M means a lot to you. Aggie Land means a lot to you. Has it been so far everything you imagined and wish it would have been so far in your experience?
And more. I think that I've said it so many times, and I'll say it till I think I pass away. It's if you want to be great, you want to be an Aggie. This is the best university in the nation. It's not. I'm not even. this isn't even me like being like a sales pitchman. It's not me speaking lies or telling false things. It's the truth. I think that you could ask any person that goes here right now and they would say the exact same thing. You don't want to leave this place when you get here. It sucks you in, and you fall in love with everything about it. You fall in love with the people here. You fall in love with the coaches. You fall in love with the university, with the traditions, with everything that comes with it. And I think I could speak for another hour on just Texas A&M alone and what it's done for me. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place to be.
Yeah, and obviously, the university's pouring back into itself, the donors as well. The baseball park's getting renovations. Talk to me about that. What are you excited for to see, the renovations wise with the program? Obviously, it won't be done before you're done here, but what does that kind of mean for the program, and what are you excited to see out of it?
Yeah, I'm just excited to get to come back and lift and work out, and you know what I mean. But at the same time, I'm excited because that means I think there will be more people that realize, which kind of stinks that takes it takes what it takes in college baseball and in college sports. But I think people will start to realize like just how beautiful this place is, and with everything that's coming, I think that Texas A&M is going to be the pinnacle of college baseball for a long, long, long time coming.
Yeah, and a $28.3 million renovation will, help do that and make it one of the nicest, if not the nicest, facilities in the country for baseball. And I mean, you talk about
Just wait till that $60 million one comes. Then it might be a little special.
yeah, I mean, that's going to be unbelievable. When you talk about, Kyle Field, 110,000 fans there. I mean, the baseball stadium is going to get up to 10,000 seats right now from just over 6,000. I mean, imagine playing in front of that crowd. Like, what you're going to come back to games and just be like, man, I wish I had this experience. But obviously, you're loving every.
I don't. I think there were a few games last year where we were running it up close to 10.
Just standing room.
Yeah, I think that there was a few games. Actually, I think there were more than a few games where we were running it pretty high up there.
Yeah, you can feel the difference in it, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, so what was the most hostile environment you played in on the road? Or it could be any time in like summer, anything.
I guess Arkansas. They were pretty good my freshman year. But I don't know. I enjoy all that stuff though. I don't view it as hostile. I kind of more view it as funny. I enjoy some of the stuff they say. I like to hear it. So
yeah, and obviously not let it get to you. But what does the future of Texas A&M baseball look like?
I hope championships. I don't think there's any other way to put it.
Yeah. What do you want your legacy, and what do you want people to remember you by when your playing career is over?
Just being a good person. My mom's always said that in the end of the day, baseball doesn't matter. People don't care how good of a baseball player you are. People don't care how good you did throughout what you're doing. The only thing that they'll look back on is how good of a person you were. And if people can't say you were a good person, then the rest doesn't matter at all. So
yeah, no, I think it's an awesome mindset to have, and obviously your mom knows what she's talking about, and great person to listen to for sure.
Yeah.
But no, Jace, thanks for joining me and taking the time to chat with me on here, and it's been a pleasure to learn more about you and go behind the scenes with you. I'm excited to continue to follow along your journey in Texas A&M baseball, and excited to get out to Bluebell Park this spring and see you back home.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me.